go ahead, take a deep breath, pull it in, hold, and let it out. You're here today to develop and strengthen your mindset because you know that weekly training sessions in mindfulness is the missing link the world is searching for when it comes to business success. So set aside the external logistical side of business growth and come with me now to a world of focus, purpose, calm, confidence, and personal power using NLP and CBT tools and techniques. I am your host, Leah Marie, and you're listening to Flip the Switch. Hey there, friends. In episode 9, we talked about service over status and how that looks in connection to relationships with both our personal life and business. Now today, we are going to continue talking about serving, and we're actually going to go deeper into how our service or our contributions actually is reflecting into our bank accounts. Have you ever wondered why, with all the work you're doing, your bank account doesn't seem to be growing as fast as you would expect, especially given the amount of hours you're pouring into your business every day? So I know that we talked about creating some of those boundaries, and we talked about being able to really look at coming from a place of serving people versus reaching our next status goal. But today, we're going to look at why our actions are actually determining what is in our bank account. So if you've had this question rolling around in your brain of trying to figure out why your numbers are not reflecting the amount of work you're putting in, then you are going to love today's episode. It is going to be the answer to the questions that you have been pondering and wondering about. By the end of this episode, you will have a crystal clear view of exactly 3 actions you can take into play now to increase the numbers you see in your bank account. You'll want to stay right to the end, of course, to discover the number 1 mistake entrepreneurs make in applying these 3 actions to save you from frustration with time, money wasted. So let's get started. Now, to start us off, I'd really like to look at what most people do. They have an idea and they jump right into action with their entrepreneurial spirit, pulling all the pieces they think they need. They read some books, they watch a webinar, they buy a course to help them achieve their goals and dreams. They start posting on social media like a mad person, trying to flood the market with their content. Then they hear that funnels is where it's at, and they sign up to learn how to build funnels. No sooner are they building these than they realize that they should write a book to sell first and to set themselves up as an expert. So they find a DIY book course and they jump in. As they are working on this book, they realize that some people are really making it big on YouTube, so they decide to create a YouTube channel too and record the journey of writing their book and building their funnels. I'm pretty sure you're starting to see where I'm going with this, aren't you? Well, you're absolutely right. We get so caught up in all the options and overwhelmed with all the opportunity that we actually get what's called opportunity fatigue. We go from having a specific goal to running after everything, and now we are no longer present for anything. In a world of opportunity and creativity, we see new paths to success popping up every single day. The fact is, there are multiple ways to achieve success, your version of success. So, how do you decide which one to take? Well, first, let's recognize you're not alone in this loud world. You're not the only one frustrated and asking, which way do I go? What path is right for me? Let's take a look, and let's take a few minutes here and now to slow down, to be purposeful in the decisions we're making. Let's take a step back and view this from an outside perspective. Let's work on your business rather than in your business for a minute. Have you ever noticed that it's easier to see what someone else should do in business, but then we feel stuck in our own? Ah, the beauty of emotional detachment. Have you ever stopped to notice that we create this problem in the next generation, just like our parents created it for us? Have you ever heard an adult say to a child, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And then the child excitedly rambles off a list of career options. And yet, we never hear a child say, "I'm going to be me, but what I want to do is work as a insert career." We are actually programmed with an attachment to our careers as a part of our identity. No wonder we stress so much over what we want to do in life. We see it as who we want to be. No wonder we have major stress and anxiety around our ability to climb the ladder or perform to achieve awards. No wonder we have depression, anxiety, and even suicides over job losses. People feel like they have lost their identity of who they are. No wonder we put so much value in what's in our bank accounts when that is what we use to measure our success and worth, because we see that as a reflection of how well we do our job, or subconsciously, how well we do us. What if we looked at our bank accounts as a direct reflection of the level of service or contribution we were putting into the world instead? When I think of this new way of seeing money, it opens up opportunity for me to be in charge, for me to be in control, me to get creative and serve more people more powerfully. It's no longer me thinking that money is all out there and it's all out of my control. I can't make people buy my products or services. No, you can't. But what you can do is serve them, listen to them, find out what's important to them, and then offer a solution to their problems. And now you're thinking, okay, Leah, that's great. So I'm willing to work on my business. I'm willing to separate emotionally and detach, and I'm willing to see my bank account as a reflection of my services or contribution levels. But what's next? Well, what's next is knowing what actions, when done, are just keeping you busy and which actions are money-making service actions. The reason this concept is so hard for so many people to hold onto is that they think they are filling the pipe with serving actions when really they're just running crazy busy on the hamster wheel of checking off the to-do list. But they're missing the actions that, when purposefully and regularly created, create cash flow. Have you ever heard a successful entrepreneur say that when they slowed down and focused on the right actions, everything changed? Well, let's look at that. So what are the right actions for you? Well, to be honest, only you can answer that. But I do have a few things that might help you figure this out. So let's get started. Number 1, first, make a list of all the things you think need to be done to acquire, create, or attract clients in your field of work. Then, highlight which activities have in the past led directly to a new client or customer. Now, for me, this is having an actual conversation with a client and allowing them to experience transformational coaching. So in my case, I would put a star next to inviting someone to a conversation, having a conversation, giving them an experience of my coaching, and then offering them the opportunity to invest in their goals and dreams by having regular transformational coaching sessions with me. This means that actions like writing emails, picking out the perfect photo shoot poses, locations or outfits for my website, friending people on Facebook or following them on Insta are not highlighted. Number 2, look at the activities that only you can do. If you don't have the funds for a virtual assistant, then just do the money-making activities until you have enough clientele to invest in an assistant that can start helping you out with some of the non-direct money-making activities. As you focus on the activities and the kind of service you want to give to create the results of solutions for others and the income for you, you may find that you'll have a little bit of time to be able to adjust and work on some of the non-money-making activities. Just remember that you follow the 80-20 rule. 80% money-making activities to 20% non-money-making activities. Be authentic and caring for the welfare and the solutions of your customers or clients. Any neediness on your part and the customers or clients will feel your intentions and seek solutions elsewhere. Number 3, only log your money-making activities as hours worked. This will help you see how much time you spend being busy versus being purposeful, as well as give you the awareness to track your results and increase your time spent in money-making service activities. Obstacles you can expect to face when starting this new way of showing up. Let's look at those. Well, you may feel angry and frustrated at how much time you have been wasting in the past being busy when you could have been serving powerfully and building up your clientele. My suggestion, Let it go and be grateful you don't have to do that anymore. Number 2, you may experience an internal opposition to this new belief system that doing less work, focused work, will bring you more results than doing more work faster. My suggestion, consider booking an appointment with a coach like me to help your subconscious not only accept this new belief, but actively work inside of it with confidence. And lastly, the number one mistake entrepreneurs make when they learn of these 3 actions is to dismiss them as too simple, or too simple a solution to possibly work. And so they don't even try or experiment with them to find out for themselves that less truly is more when done correctly. Let's take a moment and think about what living like this would be like. What possibilities will open up for you if you were to choose to experiment with these 3 actions, say for even 3 months? Now remember, the 3 actions are: 1, make a list of all the things that are money-making activities. 2, do the money-making activities for yourself and put the rest to the side, or have a VA pick up the slack. And 3, log your time, but not just the time worked, only the money-making activities, because chances are some of those non-money-making activities are gonna sneak in. So if you follow these, what would you feel? What type of environment would you be inside of? Would you be in a space where there's less stress with a doable to-do list? Would you have more focus with having less things on your list? Would you find more fulfillment as you truly serve more powerfully others? Maybe you would be in a space of having less fear or worry about self because your focus is turned outward towards others. Maybe you would come from a place of hearing a lot of gratitude, gaining testimonials, and even getting referrals from your clients. You might come from a place where you're able to see more clientele, more customers, incoming flowing of finances to you, and opportunities to serve more. The impact that is out there can ripple and ripple. Within each and every one who is within the influence of each of your customers or clients who are now showing up in their world differently and more powerfully because of your service to them, they are creating impact. How about in your family or your relationships? What are you going to see there? What is going to be increased in your confidence with each of these new clients that you have helped, your team, or giving others jobs, giving the opportunity to serve powerfully in your business with others as your team grows and as income flows in? You will give opportunity to others to be able to impact in so many ways. This is one of the reasons why I love what I do. I love the ripple effects of what is possible when just one action is taken in true, unselfish service. I love the impact that it creates and all the lives it touches and changes for good. So the question that I have for you now is, what are you going to do now that you have this info too? The quote that comes to mind is, "Learners are earners." But I think that this is only true if it is followed by once knowledge is applied. So learners are earners once knowledge is applied. So I would suggest that you take these 3 actions of 1, make a list of money-making actions, 2, hand off or put off any actions that are not money-making, and 3, log your time spent in money-making actions to make sure you play the 80-20 rule accurately and not backwards. And remember, I have that word of caution, and don't dismiss this new opportunity because it seems too simple. Today's episode is a short one. It is a simple one, and it is transformational if you allow it to be. And remember that if you're not happy with the numbers you're seeing in your bank account currently, all you need to do is create more value in the world, and those numbers will change. Take these steps and really put them into play and practice with them and have fun with them. Now, if you haven't grabbed your free copy of the 4 Secrets of Actionable Success yet, head on over to masterofme.ca/secrets now. I want to sincerely thank you and appreciate you today for showing up here on Flip the Switch. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a training session in your mindset mastery, leveling up your business success. And be a good friend. Share this episode with a fellow business builder. I'll see you next week, same time, same place.